Hello and welcome! My name is Parky and today we're going to be doing another creature creation build in Spore. Now, to feed my sad obsession with Pokemon, because I totally have a fulfilling life, we're going to create a Magnemite. Now, Magnemite is actually one of my favourite Pokemon. It's part of Gen 1, which is obviously the best generation. And let's just try our best not to completely destroy my childhood and this sort of weird magical view I have of Pokemon in general. So Magnemite obviously is a living creature, but it's also a sort of like robotic kind of droid type thing. So I'm thinking instead of doing a creature creation, because it's going to look a bit weird if it's made out of mushy organic parts, we're going to make it a spaceship, because why not? It's Spore, you can do whatever you want. And I've not played Spore for so long, so my god, it's about time we did some more. Okay, now Magnemite has a fairly easy body to make. It's just going to be a basic orb. I'm going to make it fairly sizable. I'm thinking something like this. Now, aside from this, he's only really got about 4 major body parts. Being his eye, he's got 2 magnetic sort of coils on either side, and, well, I guess his body, and like the big screw on top of his head. Now, I thought a good idea for Magnemite's massive eyeball is maybe using one of these windows. Now, there's a few here that might be suitable. Maybe the recessed bay, or this one. The inscrutable eye. That sounds like something that Magnemite would have. He stares at you through his inscrutable eye. It's quite disconcerting, actually. I'm not sure whether this is actually very suitable. It kind of sticks out a little bit too much. Let's try this Moonmen one. Because I feel like if we rotate it around a little bit like this, maybe a little bit less, and then bring this right in, is that kind of... That's kind of a Magnemite eye, isn't it? Yeah, I think that's pretty close. I mean, it is sticking out a little bit, but the thing is, you actually never get a side-on view of a Magnemite, I don't believe. Don't quote me on that in Pokemon. But there we are. Okay, so we're going to do that, and then I think we need like a proper little sort of eyeball in the middle, but we're gonna find something like that later on. Let's just do the main build of his body first. So now, I do believe that there is a very good body part in here which can do us for the magnets on either side of his body. Although, maybe we can only put this in the middle, which is kind of difficult, actually. Alright, so we're not going to use that. Aha! Okay, the crescent phase. This looks, hopefully, moderately promising. So let's just make this a little bit... Can we make it a little bit wider? Like this? And then maybe rotate it around? Oh no, is it going to sit in the middle of his body, unhelpfully? I think it might do. Oh, that's a shame. Unless we make it really big. Oh no, it doesn't look like we can make it any bigger. Damn, this is actually a struggle to find parts for his magnets. You'd think they'd have some sort of magnet in here, wouldn't you? Ooh, actually I wonder whether one of these will work. If we put one of these up here like that, make it a little bit bigger. Does it bend around at all? No. Okay, so I think I've done it. I found the most terrifying way to actually make a Magnemite's magnets, and it's using these crab arms. Now, surprisingly, in Spore there aren't actually that many options, at least in the vanilla game anyway, that you can use to make these sort of wings. I'm actually wondering whether these would be any good. Probably wouldn't be, actually. There's not many things that curve around in that fashion. I really do think there should be some sort of magnet that you can stick on. Maybe there is and I'm just being blind. I've not played this for a little while now, a few months. Feeling a bit rusty to the old Spore. Nope. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to definitely stick with these crab arms. Unfortunately, there isn't anything closer that I can find, so let's just try and morph these as much as we can into something that looks moderately reasonable. Okay, so we're going to make them a little bit smaller, like this, and maybe rotate them up a little bit more. I mean, this is a bit of a push, to say the least. It's not really looking that much like it. But let's just go. Let's go with it. Okay, I mean, that's pretty close, right? If we do something like this, and then we repeat it on the bottom. I'm not really sure. It's going to look better once I'm done, just trust me. I say with bated breath. Okay, so let's just go back into that menu and grab some more of these arms, wherever it was. I think it's in here. Yep, there we go. And we're going to put them at the bottom. It does look like some sort of terrifying crab creature, I will be honest. But let's just wait and see. The magic of Spore is that you can do magical, mysterious things, maybe a little bit, with these parts, and it suddenly comes together in the end. I mean, you can kind of see where it's going. It's a little bit similar. So I'm thinking actually that we can use one of these wheels as a bolt on the top. because it spins, and I'm pretty sure that the bolts in the game spin on Magnemite as well, we can kind of make this a little bit smaller, stick it up a little bit, like this, and then once we colour it in with the paint, it should look a bit more similar to the bolt on top. And I think we're going to do something similar with the front as well, so let's just give that a little go. And I actually quite like these as bolts. Is there one with a slightly better front though, that looks like a cross? I don't think so. Okay, well let's just go for this anyway. And we're going to rotate it around, something like this, and we're going to make them a little bit smaller. Oh man, that actually looks really good. Cool, okay. I like where this is going. And now we need to find an eye sort of blob for the middle. An eye blob by Apple. So I think for this, we're going to probably have the best chance in maybe here, using one of these plasma lathes. Oh no, it sticks out a little bit. Damn, because this actually forms part of the body shape, doesn't it, using these windows. So we're going to have to find something that's potentially a little bit smaller. Maybe another orb. Another body orb that we can position at the front would be good. If we make this really small, and then bring it in here a little bit like this. Yeah, sure, okay. Now I think this is giving us the sort of desired effect, moderately, of what we wanted. I mean, I think the worst bit of this really is the arms. If we could find some sort of better set of arms, that would be really good. But unfortunately I think we're a bit restricted in terms of the parts that we can use here, especially in vanilla Spore. Maybe if I did this with a mod pack installed it'd be better, but for now I'm going to stick with it. You know what, the thing is, you've just got to be confident in your build sometimes and just hope that they come together. So let's just go with it. Okay, I think this is all going to come together quite nicely in the painting menu. So of course, Magnemite is a lovely shade of metal. 50 shades of metal. So let's go with maybe an ultra-realistic metal shader like this. Maybe just a slightly lighter shade of metal as well. Oh, actually, yeah, look at this. This is a much better colour scheme and texture. Because like Magnemite is this very ultra-futuristic, man-made-y kind of industrial machine, isn't he, that flies around. So maybe this is the best that we could go for. Now, I do believe that the eye is just pure white. So let's see if we can get one of these colours. I think we're probably going to get closest to white in this menu. So we're going to colour that bit white, and then maybe if we use the shine, we can get a black centre of the eye like that. Perfect! Actually, that's really good. And then let's go for a dark grey for the ring of the eye. Yeah, okay. And then maybe a textured outside, just to give it a little bit more sort of pop, as it were. I like that. I think that looks really good. Okay, and then for the bolts, we're going to do a similar sort of thing. I think the bolts are pretty much one of these materials. We're going to go for a darker metal colour, a bit like this maybe. Maybe that's a little bit too dark. If we go for maybe one of these sort of greys instead. Actually, is that exactly the same grey I went for? I have no idea what I'm doing. What are you doing, Parky, you fool of a toque? Okay, and then a slightly lighter interior. Maybe make it even lighter to emphasise that depth. And then the very centre nut, I'm thinking we make black again. Oh no, we can't. Okay. Maybe we just go dark with it then. Yeah, I kind of like that. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing for the top bolt as well. Maybe we can make something of this middle part. Make a little bit thicker tube in the middle. Because that looks a little bit thin from the difference in the game that I remember. Okay, and let's also make this a lighter grey around the outside, like so. Okay, I like how this is going. It looks pretty damn good so far. Now, we've got to try and make these crab arms look as realistic as possible, or as close to the game. And I do believe that they're quite dark greys, like this, all over. So let's make those fully dark, like that. And then the tips have sort of alternating blue and red sort of tipping. I don't know how we can do that. Maybe if we do something like... like this. And can I colour these independently? That would be really cool. I mean, I guess that kind of looks right. I'd like them to be alternating, actually. So if we can... Is it possible to do just one of these at a time? Maybe if I place them independently, it will allow me to do that sort of thing. Okay, let's go back into the crafting menu and see if I can place these independently of each other. So we're going to grab another one of these crab arms in here. we're going to remove this one and place this one down like so. And I'm hoping this is actually going to allow me to recolor these independently of each other, the top and the bottom, but we'll only find out by trying. Okay, so let's move this down a little bit like so. I think that seems pretty good. We need to move it a little bit further this way, like that, and then maybe rotate it down again, or move it down just further on the body in general. That seems good. And then maybe if we rotate this one up, like that, I think that seems good. Yeah, sure thing. Okay, let's match this side over here, because this looks a little bit smaller. And we need to rotate it up a little bit, like that. That seems pretty good. And then we're going to do the same for the top over this side. So let's do it. And we're going to grab this one off over here, rotate this one around so it's facing this direction, and bring it up a little bit and make it a little bit smaller. Is that the right size? I think it probably is. And we need to move this one a little bit further this way, and maybe rotate it up a tiny bit like this, and then rotate this one down a little bit too. Maybe make it one blob bigger. Cool, okay, I like how this is looking. So let's now go back into this menu and see if we can actually colour these independently of each other. And it looks like we can, perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. Because Magnemite has those alternating red and blue magnets on either side. I think that looks pretty cool. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this one's slightly too big. And I believe, actually now this one is as well. I think that looks a little bit better, but this one's sticking up a little bit too much, right? So if we bring it down like this, that seems good, and like that. Yeah, okay, no, I like how this is looking. So now let's actually just try and get a little blob that we can fill this in with up here. Now I think probably our best bet is to go for something in this menu. Maybe one of these, but I'm not sure how small you can make them. Probably not very, but I'm not really sure. Oh no, we can make it quite small actually. So let's make this really, really narrow, like that. And then if we make it quite short, maybe bring it in a little bit again and rotate it around. Maybe one more time so the thinner part is at the top, and then move it into the middle like that. And here we are, our beautiful Magnemite. I don't feel like I've completely ruined my childhood by making this, and I think it's recognisable enough. Of course, everything in Spore you have to take with a bit of a pinch of salt, but if you've got any ideas of how I could have maybe done the magnetic arms a little bit better, then please do leave a comment below. You almost definitely wouldn't want to bump into this as a child. It would scar you, or scar you mentally. There we go, perfect. I don't think there's anything else that would really sum up a Magnemite. I think if you did see one in real life, it would probably mentally scar a child. However, let's just accept this. So you may or may not be wondering, this is my first video back after quite a long break. There's going to be a little video announcement coming up maybe tomorrow as to why that is and what's gone on in my life. But for now, all I'd love for you to do is leave your support as you've always done for me in the past. And also leave me suggestions for other creature creations or vehicle creations, or heck, even building creations that we could do in Spore. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, awkward, awkward, goodbye. Awkward.